Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Antisocial Planet, and today we are checking out chapters 32 and 33 of Season 2 of Tower of God. And we ended off the last couple of chapters where we were being introduced to this new mysterious adversary that is in this test, in this creature that has been just kind of like, I don't know, killing off rankers for funs, for giggles, you know, as he is kind of camped out in this creature, and I don't know yet entirely who he is. I have like some ideas, but I don't want to say too much about it because I realize that I don't fully understand the situation. So we'll see if we get any more clues about who exactly he is, what part of this whole conflict he is sided on, whether that's Jihad or Foog. I feel like it's probably not on Jihad's side because he's been killing rankers. That seems like something that Jihad would not be okay with, but I mean, he tends to not be super involved with some of the death and stuff, so we'll see. But we did have Bam showing up and needing to fight against him, so I feel like we're going to be very action heavy for the next little bit. I know we still have Misang, who's like doing exploration in this test, so we might switch back and forth between like what she's doing and then what is going on with Bam. We know that Wangnan and Arkraptor are kind of wandering around, still trying to figure out how to pass this test. So we kind of have like these three little strings of what's going on in the plot. But I feel like we're going to be focusing a lot on Bam's interaction with this newcomer. So we'll see how that's gonna go. I feel like this might be an actual test of his skills. We saw a little bit of it with Love, where he was struggling, but I feel like this one might be a real test because Love wasn't actually trying to like kill Bam. We had a little bit of suspense with that, of whether or not he was gonna let his own rage about Foog and his experience with Foog cloud his judgment, but then it quickly shifted to him being in more of a professional mode, whereas like I don't feel like this guy is gonna pull any punches, that he's gonna feel bad about killing Bam. So this might be a real showing of what Bam is capable of and push him a little bit to actually have to like kind of dig into the bag of tricks that he's had over the years. So let's get into chapter 32 and probably like be stressed like the whole time. I'm just expecting that now. He just doesn't intimidate me. I know that we're probably gonna get there. It just doesn't strike fear into me the way that I was expecting, with all the shadows and glowing eyes of it all. Yeah, y'all should clear out. I feel like that is probably best. I think that Bam doesn't need the distraction of trying to like protect other people and look after them. Also fair. Like it's probably best to just like not be in the way. If you're not gonna be helpful, you can at least go on and like try to pass the test, right? I definitely can't take this seriously when there's moo across it. It's a serious situation. I know this. I keep making jokes as a defense mechanism. Oof. I didn't think of that. But yeah, they're like, it flips, right? But they're inside. That's like a whole other host of issues if they're like inside of this creature when it flips. Better make this quick then, because it's gonna get awkward and difficult to negotiate pretty quick. Oh, I guess too, like they've been going through this whole thing with the Sigena, I'm probably not gonna say it correctly, on its back, right? Because that's when it flipped. Before it was like on its belly, and then it flipped when they got inside on its back. So they're like experiencing the whole environment right now, like upside down. I don't know why that didn't cross my mind, but that's like, yeah, which I guess then it would make sense that when it flips, the flowers are going to be like where the roof is now, because that's supposed to be like the floor. Seems like a bit of a uneven negotiation to be like, you get a flower or you die. It seems like an extreme there between the two of those. But hey, we're here to get a flower, so I guess it's in line with our overall goal. I think it's also telling that he's like, let's make this a game, when he's literally threatening someone's life. And I said that before in like the last couple of chapters, where he's very like flippant about the fact that he's killing people and that it's just like a way to pass the time. The fact that this is also just a game to him, when like Bam is not only his own life on the line, but like all of his friends as well. So this is very much a life or death, very serious situation for him. And then on the flip side, to have someone who's very like flippant and this is just for fun for him is like interesting contrast between the two of them. Ooh, yeah, no, you should make sure nobody wanders in. I said that before. I'm like, let's just not just like wander in to this conflict. Yes, let everyone know where not to be. Good call. Ooh, that too. also a good plan to be in the right position so when everything flips, you can help out. The strategy, I like it. I like that we've got some strategy going on with this team between different members. I love how Prince is just like kind of enamored with Oh-hyung. He just thinks he's amazing. Which I feel like is such a contrast to like the very like entitled Prince that we saw before, that he's just been like humbled quite a bit after everything that happened with the test with like all the rooms and stuff, and now he's just like decided that like Teddy Bear is like his person. Just like following him around. Little sparkles around him. I mean, I think we're all in danger, specifically Viole though. What about Misung though? Isn't she still in the tunnel? Yeah, sure, just like some small talk. How are you? The weather's been weird, like what? Before you try to fight each other to the death? I mean, maybe it'll be more intense than that. Also, like, Mom's not a big talker. I feel like that's gonna be an issue with this too. It's like, let's talk to pass the time, and Mom's like, a couple of words, maybe, if he's feeling like extra sociable. I don't know. I kind of don't want to know. I don't want to keep scrolling. Oh, I thought that'd be worse. Leave the tower. I mean, we've kind of had people like want to not be progressing up the tower, like leave the inner part of the tower because it's not really something that they were interested in anymore, like not something that they really had a say in. Like even like Gosong talking about how like she was forced into it and it's not actually something that she wants, but she feels like she has to, especially now that she's started. But leaving the tower makes me think like properly leaving the tower as opposed to just like the inner part of the tower. Honestly, I was expecting something kind of sinister, but he might be more interested in Bomb if he like finds out who Bomb is, where Bomb's from. Oh gosh, don't talk about the stars in the sky. Too soon. Just avoid the subject. Bad memories. Ooh, the way that it's like the frame is tipping. I love that like kind of the use of the Dutch angle to show that it's like slowly starting to roll and be off kilter, but also I feel like it works really well with what's being said, right? Like I said before, we don't really hear a lot about people wanting to leave the tower. We hear lots about people wanting to be in the tower or to get something out of the tower. And then someone like this who says, wouldn't it be more fun to not be in the tower, to leave? Is very outside of what we've seen before. And to say like, oh, what you're doing, like taking on the tower, like going up the tower, taking on Jihad, isn't that trivial, is so outside of what we've seen before. So having that Dutch angle shows that like there's this weird off-kilter feeling to what's being said, right? To the way that this new idea is being introduced. There's something off about this particular person because of those views. I like having both of those things expressed through the angle of how the frame is set up. Yeah, true, Magnus, like people don't really think about being outside the tower because to them the tower is everything, right? So to have someone who is not only like has the concept of I can leave the tower and that there is an outside of the tower, but then to also want that, like prefer that over being in the tower is something so weird to most people. Like most people don't even contemplate that, let alone think it's preferable to being inside the tower, which makes him interesting. He's very kind of dramatic though too, which I'm not against, honestly. Dramatic is always entertaining, if nothing else. Ooh, see, even this where like this panel before is like tilting the one way, and then this panel is like tilting the other way. Like we're getting that feeling of like rocking, which is like literally the ground they're on is rocking, but also it's like rocking the foundation, right, of these characters because he's talking about these weird concepts to people. So I love how that's being expressed in like, I don't know, the camera angle, which is like not I guess like a technical term for comics, but that's how I think about it because I always link it to like cinematography. My gosh, Bomb is saying words, like a whole bunch of them, like 2 sentences. Goodness gracious. And we see his eyes, like both of his eyes when he's saying this, like he fully believes this. This is something that's coming from like his heart. Ooh, geez. Is this Lady Yuri? Do we know her? Interesting. Does he know that they're all gathering? Oh no. Yoon's still trying to like figure out what is going on as she's left behind. We found it. Good job. The counting is like kind of making my stress levels go up. The counting is a great mechanism for adding suspense into stuff, but also, whew. What a thing to like walk into though. Wangnan and Ockraptor, no context, just like walking in and there's like creatures and Bomb falling from the sky. I feel like that would be a weird experience. I don't like that he says it's going to be more fun now that there are the other people there. Because like before I was like, I feel like they're dragon fodder in this. They're just like collateral to the whole thing. And that makes me nervous because I don't want that for them. I've grown attached and I don't want him to attack them. Oh, I don't like the smile either. I do like that all the panels are like changing the angle of it. Like there's something very disorienting where you don't quite know which way is like up. Like we're getting like these like top down views, we're getting them from the side, we're getting them like this weird thing where his face is turned down. We're getting all of these different angles as this like shifting is still happening, which I think is really cool for like how disorienting it is in this moment, not only from a like physical sense of like the world actually shifting around them, but also because the like feeling of stability and power and stuff is shifting around. It's kind of this moment before the fight really happens, and there's just all this disorientation even in like the way that you're reading it, trying to like figure out how to like orient yourself in what's going on. Ooh, wow. Okay, so we've Yoon too, Hwang Nun just holding on, but the panel is cool, like this concentration of like light, and then you have like the swirling with the red, and then you kind of roll call of all of the people on the team. Oh, and then Bomb at the bottom. I love this panel, especially since you have to scroll down, so you kind of like reveal all the different elements of it. Oh, I'm not ready. Oh, okay. Because I was thinking it was going to be mostly a fight between like Bomb and this adversary, but now we have everyone involved. I don't like it. I don't like we're calling it a game. It just puts me on edge. Okay. I don't think you'll stop him, honestly. I have a feeling they're not going to be able to like get close to him. Because we saw with even like Quant, where there was a very obvious shift between like Quant's speed and the regulars, and that was like back in floor 1, so there would be like a much bigger gap obviously between the regulars and a ranker. But even then, like Quant wasn't really trying. He was showing off, but he wasn't like actually trying to hurt anybody. Whereas I feel like this one, I don't think they'll even be able to get close to him. I just feel like that's not gonna be how this goes down, let alone stopping him. My gosh, don't you dare hurt Teddy Bear though, because I'ma come through that screen. The way that his like eyes are like whited out too, with the like wings and stuff. An opera. Ooh. Interesting to have like it called opera, like, because it makes me think like an opera house as opposed to like a lighthouse. Okay, so this is an opera is what we saw before. Cool. I like that it's called an opera though. I like the name choice, the kind of continuing with these structures and stuff, but also the fact that he's like, you at least need one of those. So there's only 3 of them, and we've seen them with one of the more powerful people that's kind of been hinted at previously, and he's like, you need at least one of those to go up against me. I'm thinking he's a little bit strong. Like I said, I'm like, I feel like this is gonna it's not gonna go well for everybody. How dare you? How dare you? I will come through that screen. Don't think I'm lying. I don't feel so bad about making fun of him before now. I like how Yoon's like, I don't have any contacts, but we're fighting him, right? That's what we're doing? I hope she doesn't lose control. I feel like that's gonna happen at some point. I feel like that's like a plot point we have set up, that at some point Yoon's gonna like lose control of her ability and it's gonna cause havoc in some way. Hey, there's the Pokeball. I was waiting for the Pokemon trainers to go up against each other. Oof, I really don't think it's gonna work. I like the blur effects though that are on lots of it, of this feeling of movement with them. Wow, I feel like I'm kind of dazzled by some of the the panels. How we doing, Bomb? We recovering from free fall? Cause he's coming, so we could just get our head back into the fight. Ooh, that shift though between like all of the light on his face and then the darkness creeping in, the eyes being what's kind of drawn out in it, the smirk, the like darker, muddier colors puts me on edge even more. I don't like how his power is like just such an intense light that you can't really like see what's going on, like it overpowers, cause that seems intense. And I don't like not being able to see exactly what's happening. And also, like, does that mean the Bomb can't quite see what's actually happening? Because his power is copying people. So if he can't really see what the power is, then he can't, like, reverse engineer it to copy it. Floral Butterfly isn't exactly very intimidating either. Again, I'm sure it's more intimidating in action than in name. Where are we going, Mi-sung? Why are we leaving the tunnel? Where are we being led? See, Scorching Fist of Death, intimidating. Mi-sung, though! No, careful! The lighting effect is really cool though, but everything about it makes me like, my body is like tensing up so much. No, he noticed! I don't know if that's a good thing because it's a distraction, but also someone help Mi-sung. Well, don't you notice. Oh no. Cause the shockwave of it. I'm like, my fists are like clenching. I have to take a breath. Okay. I like the separation of the panel though. It makes it easier to kind of fit everything in the frame, but it also, because obviously he's injured, I feel like it's also like that separation between, like, you know, when you're injured, you're in shock or whatever, and you kind of dissociate from the injury or the pain or whatever's going on. It kind of makes me feel that, because you have that break in the panel, even though you didn't necessarily need it, right? Like, you could have used this space and had the same amount of information in it, but the fact that it's has that space and it gives more room to the injury, and then we have like this very closed off panel with Bam and Mi-sung, it's this feeling of him like closing off from what's going on in order to like cope with it. But also, I need him to not be hurt. He has the healing thing though. Can we do the healing thingy that we did before with the weird red leg thing? It almost looked like a rib cage. Can we do that? I'm glad that we protected Mi-sung though, all things considered. Arrive? Who's arriving? Where are we arriving? Oh my gosh, be careful. I know we're trying to protect our friends, but also like, don't run towards the person who is actively trying to kill people. The fact that they all were kind of like, oh, hi. Nothing to see here. He got a cut on his cheek though. That's gotta count for something, I guess. Okay, so he didn't know about the creature? Are we back at the beginning where we were before when he was like asleep by the flower? I mean, thanks for letting us have it, I guess. Gosh, the way that like we kind of like built up Bam and his ability and his powers and stuff like that, and then like it was over like that, right? Like it was so quick and Bam's out. Like if he wasn't deciding, oh, I don't want the flower anymore, you can take it, I'm deciding to just like leave this, Bam would be dead. That's the seriousness of the situation. Do we know what the symbol is? Because I feel like I saw it before. Yo, that's right! I noticed the Mizuno before and I was like, I know that from somewhere. Do I know it? Maybe I don't know it. And I was like, I kind of recognize the symbol, the tattoo on his back. Or do I? Ulrich. Holy... Yeah, Bam would be dead if he didn't want to leave. There's still like a whole bunch of this chapter left and I feel like my brain is like buffering. Okay, who are we meeting up? Who are we? We got some teammates. You. So the test was a whole, I mean, we knew that, but like directly part of what was going on. I'm so mad at them using for like a whole group of regulars just to deal with this. You failed so much. You sent in all those rankers. They all died. You failed. And you're like, you know what we should do? Send in some children. That'll fix it. I don't expect better from the tower. I'm just also upset about it. I feel like this is not going to end well for them either, though. The smile again. Jesus Christ. I feel like these two got, like, obliterated. Yeah. Had a feeling that's what happened. The fact that he's, like, 1 versus 1,000. Okay. I understand that the confidence is probably justified, but also calm down. You know, it's way cooler to be the silent type. That's it. That's what we got. He just, like, evaporated the people you're with. And your comeback is you jerk. That's what we're going with? I don't feel like that's gonna have the impact you're hoping for. Oof. I kind of like that he uses kicking moves though, just stylistically. It's kind of brutal in actual execution though. It's a poor little creature that's been dragged into all of this. Oh, it's a baby. Oh, I don't want it to be with them though. I want to protect the baby. I didn't know they came in small sizes. So the babies are connected to the flowers. So I feel like the flowers are like partly important for the like actual utility of them and the rarity of them, because let's face it, people like pretty shiny things, myself included. We tend to like gems because of that, but then it's also probably a way of like controlling the population of these creatures because it's directly related to how they give birth and stuff, or like care for their young and stuff. Yeah, see, it would make the jewels less rare, so they're not worth as much, and it's harder to control like the market for them if there's just like a bunch of these creatures around making these gems. I'm trying not to get upset about like the fact that I understand the business of that, but also how messed up is that to just like refuse to let a creature reproduce, which is like one of the most natural processes of a creature, and to just deny that and control it so that you can make money. I feel like that is a topic that I could dig deeper into, but I won't. We're gonna stay focused on the actual story. Okay, I kind of like that he's like, I'm gonna let them reproduce and the gems won't be worth as much anymore, and it's kind of satisfying. Okay, I don't want to like him. I'm warming up a little bit though. He did just attack Bam and he's like knocked out and bleeding all over the place. I gotta remember that. Just because I feel a kind of satisfaction at, you know, kind of a big middle finger to people controlling stuff to make money. He does also murder people. Just keep that in the front of my mind. Who? Do you not know who he is? We're just attacking him because I'm not paying attention? Definitely do not come see him. I feel like you're lucky to survive. That's what I'm getting from it. I believe that. I believe you're not afraid of anyone. The confidence seems to be very evident. Hello? Who are we with? Mention of Yuri again. Because we had, before he was mentioning Lady Yuri, then we had the opera, which is the like super powerful lighthouse, which is also a connection to Yuri's story. And now again, I want to like Lady Yuri too. Don't make me question her. Okay, but like these eyes, I don't trust them. I don't know who you are. I remember that face. Oof, the fact that we had like all this confidence and he's like, it's gonna take like 1,000 of you up against me, at least. I'm not afraid of anyone. And then now realizing that in his confrontation with Bomb, he got a cut. I wonder how often that happens. I pointed out before where I was like, that's probably an accomplishment to actually cut him. And like in the face too, which is like very vulnerable. You tend to protect your face like instinctually. It's like invasive to have like people around your face. So I feel like he's gonna be even more intrigued by Bomb. Before it was like, oh, his bravery and the fact that he was willing to sacrifice himself to protect one of his teammates. I respect that a lot. And then now I feel like he's gonna be intrigued by the fact that he actually managed to get a hit in, even like slightly. Because he's like, don't underestimate the rankers. It wasn't a ranker, it was Bomb. Yeah, it's like they've been to the top tower. Bomb hasn't. Not yet. He's this strong now, let alone the farther he gets. It was not just for defense. I don't like that we're getting the grin again. I feel like also part of it is like he got the hit in, was actually able to cut his face. But also I feel like Bomb pulled his hit a little bit because he noticed Mi-sung. So he was like shifting his focus and going to protect her. So I feel like there's probably a little bit more potential to his attack than actually happened because he couldn't really follow through with it because he had to change his direction of how he was going to go about the fight so that he could help Mi-sung. I don't like that he's hurt though. I don't like seeing Wangnan being upset about it. Me too though. A lot of feelings. That's where I'm at. So, one thing to take away from this, definitely not, what was his name? The one that was on the rooftop that we saw before that was like the other Slayer, possibly? Not that person that we met at the in this test. It was Urek, which was not what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but not that caliber of opponent. I think that's where I'm coming from. I was like, yeah, we're definitely gonna meet someone. And then I was like, nope, not what I was expecting. But we knew that eventually there was gonna be a crossover with Bomb and Urek, because we've had talk about him before. I feel like my body is very tense about the whole thing because I don't know how to feel, but I feel a lot. And I think that we didn't really get the full fight that I was expecting. I was expecting it to go on for a little while, but that's because I was expecting it to be someone who was like slightly like not Urek. You know what I mean? Like I was expecting someone a little bit way farther down on the power scale of who we were going up against. Obviously someone who was able to go toe to toe with rankers, but you know, it's a little bit different. So I was expecting it to go on for a little bit longer of Bomb like getting more of a chance to go up against him, but I think that it says something very like thematic that it was over so quickly, and that it was partly over so quickly because Bomb prioritized helping his teammates, Mi-sung specifically, but like he was like distracted. He was putting their safety ahead of that. We even had him saying before the fight of like, if someone is going to hurt someone I care about, I'll fight. That's like a huge motivator of who Bomb is. It was partly like that distraction. It was also greatly because he was outpowered. Like Bomb has gone up against a lot of like strong, talented people, but it's usually not in a context of someone like legitimately trying to kill him or is significantly outpowering him or like using the full extent of that ability. So it was definitely a little bit of a different experience, and I think really important through the narrative of Bomb to, like I said, we've built him up a lot about what his abilities are, and he kind of has this like mysterious power to him. Like everyone kind of knows that he's super strong and that he has this training and that he's unique in a lot of ways, and it makes you kind of believe that he's capable of doing anything, right? It makes him feel a little bit invincible, and I like getting to this point in the story where we see him very easily and swiftly taken down, with a little bit of a hint that he has the potential to become a lot stronger because he was able to cut Urik's face. So we know that he's still an outlier in the power level of the people around him, and that he's still like impressive, and again, the potential is there. But showing that he can be like very easily taken out of that fight shows how much more he has to progress through, and also like makes it more high stakes. Like you can feel more suspense about it because you can see that Bam isn't invincible. He isn't able to deal with everything that's going to be thrown at him at this point, especially since we have so many things going on that I feel like the normal structure of how people usually go through the tower is being interfered with, because everyone is switching up how they're doing things, and they have different motivations and different things that motivate them, and they have different reasons for manipulating the way that the test works, especially around Bam. More and more people are becoming aware that he's there, which is very different from season 1, where no one really knew who he was or where he came from or to be wary of him in the way that they do now. There's like legends about him in a way. Like there are these rumors about him, people are talking about him, even like common regulars know something about who this Violet is. So he's starting to make a name for himself, and more people are starting to get involved with him being in the tower and manipulating him and stuff like that. So I just like that ramping up of the stakes as we introduce other people and show that it is not going to be like a clear progression through like the power levels. It's going to be this kind of rocky back and forth of who they're going to interact with, because you know, people are making moves, and there's this whole other like web of other like plans and people trying to manipulate how the tower system works to meet their own goals. So there's lots of other things kind of lurking in the background of everything going on. Kind of happy it didn't get drawn out, because I would have been like super stressed. But now I have a whole bunch of other questions about stuff going on, and I feel like Bam probably does. He's gonna have to recover a little bit, but they passed. They got the flower, so there's that silver lining. You can click this playlist to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so this next time I post a Tower of God reaction, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!